We are in the long, dark sea. We are space pirates.
Woohoo, har har.
Yes, we are out in search of relics which were banned by the Council, which rules with an iron fist over the Luminaris system. That is the story behind this adventure card game, Long Dark Sea.
It is a cooperative card game with the board by the Lucio Games. It plays 1 to 4 players and it is going to crowdfunding. And hello everyone, it's Stella
And Tarrant.
from Meeple University. All right, we're going to do an overview of the game and then we're going to get into gameplay as we explain how it goes so that you can get into finding out how it plays. So how's everyone going? I assume that you answer. How are you, Tarrant?
I'm doing well.
All right, so if you have any questions, comments, if you like this video, please write in the comment sections below and we'll hopefully get back to you as soon as we can.
Long Dark Sea is a cooperative, card-driven campaign game. And the game will have several campaigns, and each campaign plays in separate acts. And within the acts, we'll be doing a card battle out here where we'll be trying to achieve a certain objective, or maybe off on a side quest type of objective. There's a few different ways these acts can resolve. And then in between scenarios, we get to level up our decks and our characters and so forth. Now, in this video, what we'll be focusing on is Act 1 of this scenario, the raid stage. So we won't be showing you the level up, the roleplay side of things. We'll be showing you the core raid gameplay.
I mean, you can roleplay, you can be the pirate, space pirate, Tarrant.
R.
That's so feeble. I mean, it's still better than mine. Anyways.
So this is me. I'm playing as Di Imperatore, and this is my leader, and this is my animal companion, Omanodon.
And I'm playing as Sai Morlin, spy. And my support animal is Haramidgida.
And each of us has a deck of 15 cards and a hand. My hand is 6.
And my hand is 5. 5 plus 0 is 5.
Yes, so we have our starting hands showing here, and we'll be working through those decks to take our actions in the game. Out here on the board, you'll see a few of the cards and decks which are going to come into play, but the key area here, this is where the raid takes place. This is spaces for 12 cards, and we'll see how all of these raid enemy cards, most of them are enemy cards, there's a few which help us, but we'll see how these cards are going to come towards us and how we interact with them. Then what we also have to drive the story along are some quests, some chapters, some secrets, and let's get into that now. What I'll do is I'll start by reading the initial information for this Shangri-La Act 1 chapter. O Shangri-La, no one is left who has seen with their own eyes the glory that for centuries has made your name unforgettable. If they even know her, it is only because of the legend that remains of you. As time went by, the abundance that once courted you simply disappeared. Your children, as if swallowed by the sand that covers your complexion, disappeared. Only the ruins remain as the witnesses of life and joy that lived in you, of the celebrations and festivities as well as the adversities and sorrows that you have experienced. Without souls, Shangri-La is nothing than a loose desert. From the Chronicles of Vladimir by Zyla Lua. 2,000 years ago, the Sandlia civilization vanished without a trace. Similarly, with the passage of time, their capital, Shangri-La, was reduced to sand and shambles. Throughout this time, the mystery of their disappearance, shrouded in an aura of mystery, has been linked to the use of a relic of great power. To the surprise of many, 3 signals have recently been received from its surface, signals that, according to records, coincide with an ancient technology used by the Sandliers. Like so many others, your crew is heading there in search of the lost city and the power it hides.
Ding, ding, ding.
Jarring chord indeed. So we reveal chapter 1. And this scenario has 7 chapter cards. So we take the first one. And this will start to give us direction. So after landing on the desert planet, you head north following a trail of the 3 signs. When you see the horizon, you see how a thick cloud of dust is heading towards your position. While you look for a place to take refuge, you give notice. Raid team to mothership, a sandstorm is approaching. Stay in the air and under no circumstances land on the surface. So we place this card in the main shared play area, and this is our main quest. We have to find the origins of the 3 signals. How we do that will get unfolded as we go along. So as we reveal cards, they're going to tell us that we've found those signals. Now, a couple more things to show you before we get started. We begin the game with some resources. We're using easy modes, so these are the resources we have. We're actually you're not going to see us spending these resources because these are only done between scenarios. But we'll be collecting these resources to help ourselves upgrade as we go along. So we've got credits. These are essentially the money of the game. We have Bolitio, which serves as an energy source. And we have Titan Neuro, which is a building material. The other thing I'll point out is these 2 tracks. We have the quest track and the threat track. And we're playing with easy mode. So these are set so that the quest track is, so the threat track is long, we get fewer threats, and the quest track is short, so we get more quests.
Easier to achieve our quest.
Yes. And to get these quests, we're going to be trying to roll these X symbols when we explore locations. That'll be a big part of what we're trying to do. So with that, let's get into play. This is the turn sequence. We go turn by turn, back and forward. And we go through these steps. Each turn has a character phase where the player can use cards to take actions. Then there's the scenario phase, and that's when the enemies and the raid cards in the main board are going to fight and attack us back. Then there's another character phase, which is the same. We can take, or the active player can take actions using cards. So in this way, you've got the choice for whether you want to take those actions before or after the scenario. And then you can discard cards optionally, draw back up to your hand limit, and there's a little bit of maintenance before it goes to the next player. I'm the first player. This is the active player token, and I'm in my first character phase. Now, out here on the board, we don't really know what's there yet. We've got one of each of the 4 types of raid cards, but they're face down. So we have an event, an enemy, a location, and it could be any of the other 3, but usually more strong. All of these are a long way away. They're expensive to go and get. So I'm not going to do anything in my first character phase. What I'll do is go straight to the first scenario phase.
Nothing you can do, really?
There's not much I can do. There's not that much effective that I can do.
Yeah, these are too far away for exploration and so on.
So in the scenario phase, these cards are going to get resolved from nearest to furthest and then advance towards us. So these cards move on a snake pattern like so. And because none of them are face up, none of them actually do anything yet. They're just going to advance. So we'll advance all of these cards 1 step and add the next one to the board. So now we come to my second character phase. Because all these cards are face down, I need to get them face up before I can interact with them. And doing that means taking an explore action. So there are 3 main types of actions on our cards. The red ones are attack, the green ones are explore, and the blue ones are block. And blocking is only done in response to an attack on you. So really there's only the 2 that I can do on my turn. So I need the green cards here to explore and try to reveal the cards up on the board. Now any explore action I take needs to meet range and strength. So there are 3 rows on this board and each of them is at a different range. We have short range, mid range, and long range, which have 1, 2, or 3 stripes. So if I wanted to explore a card in the top row, I would need to play a card which had the explore icon with 3 stripes showing. And if you look closely at my cards, none of them do. All of them have only 2 stripes showing. So I actually can't explore a long range card. Because there's 2, I can explore a mid-range card, so this one is an option for me. Secondly, I need to play an action which has the strength of the sector. So this sector has a strength of 5. And my basic actions, if you look at them, have a strength of 2. So I can't just play this card to do it, I have to boost the card. So all of the cards, well, most of the cards, sorry, have the ability to boost the strength shown down the bottom. So this is a boost 1. These are all boost 1s. This one is boost 1 if I explore at mid-range, so that's pretty handy. So I can play a combination of cards to do this exploration. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play Alternative Path for its Strength 2 basic action.
And obviously you don't use the boost part of the card?
Yep, because it's the standard part of the action. Then I'll boost it with this one, which as I play it gives me another 1, exploring at mid-range, so I'm up to 4. And then I'll boost again with this, which gives me another +1. So I have a strength of 5, which is enough to reveal this card. So this is an event, and we can see it is a sandstorm. The chapters spoke a lot about sandstorms, and here's one of them. This is a sandstorm. It's got a timing number of 3 on it, so it's going to last for 3 turns. So I put 3 of these timing markers on it to keep track of that. The sandstorm has the effect that we can't reveal hidden cards that are adjacent to it. So that's going to get in the way. And the sandstorm can attack us and do damage to us, but only at close range. So at the moment we're safe. It's going to take it a while to get to close range. All right, and so that first action is resolved. Now there's nothing else I can do. I can't attack anything because there are no enemies on the board to attack, and there's nothing else in my range to explore. So I go straight on to my discard and draw phase. I can choose to discard some of these cards, and I can see there might be an enemy coming soon, so I'll hang on to these cards. I think they'll all be useful. And then I'll draw back up to my hand limit of 3. All right, I'll discard these, and it is now your turn.
So because of the sandstorm, I want to reveal this before it moves on the scenario phase, because adjacency is only adjacent if it's next to each other in the row. So I'm going ahead and exploring, although it's a bit expensive at 6 rather than waiting until it's cheaper, I'm going to do that now. So I have 1 explore long range here. I'm going to add +2 as a boost, so that's 4. And this is actually my companion's card, which has got effect to flip this card. It says ongoing. Whenever you play a Haramida card, flip this card, which I do. And although it adds 1 hand limit, and it has the effect of scan 2, which is I can look at my top 2 cards in my deck to discard or return them in the order of my choosing.
Yes,
so,
which you do right away.
Yeah. So let's see. I have these 2 cards, which is the same, and this is to attack at mid-range. I think I want to keep it because the enemy will come towards the bottom, and then I'll be able to attack it at mid-range, which is a good boost as well. So
yep, that'll be good for next turn.
Yeah, for next turn. So back again, my plan is 2 plus 2 is 4, and it's 6. So I need to +1 and then +1. So let's resolve the action by refilling this. An enemy. It's Shadow of the Past. It has short range attack, so it won't attack us until it gets to this row, which is good.
Yep.
It has 12 life. It has 3 defense.
And it has a threat effect, which is what resolves if it gets all the way through the end of the board. But I think we've got plenty of time to deal with that.
Famous last words, Tarrant.
I'm confident.
Actually, I am too. So that's my character phase over. I will not do anything with this. Now it goes to scenario phase.
Yep, so again, we resolve cards from nearest to furthest. So the sandstorm loses one of its timing markers, and that's it. The Shadow of the Past can't attack us because it's not within range, and the others aren't revealed. Then we advance all of the cards and add a new one. This is another enemy joining the line.
So now this is next to the sandstorm. Good things we have revealed it, otherwise we cannot.
Yes. All right, so now we are in the second character phase.
And I can't attack because I have 2, which can't be boosted, or 1 plus 1, also 2, while the enemy has got 3 defense, so nothing will come through. discarding this, and then I draw up to 6. Now I have 6. So 1, I want to keep this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and flip these back.
Yes, you need to re-ready those, reuse them every round.
Yep. So that is my turn.
Okay. I am going to start by trying to attack Shadow of the Past.
Good luck, Tarrant.
Yep, so using these, I will start with the Delusio Minotauri. It's a strength 2 at up to long range. Now it has an effect where I could discard a delusion token from the same sector to double the initial value of the card. These are my delusion tokens. I haven't got them on the board yet, but you may have seen these tokens. We can put them down into sectors when we get certain effects, and that allows us to use them, cash them in for benefits. But I don't have that now, I'm just using it as a basic card. I will boost it with Urumi's Dance. This has a 1 boost plus another one for a mid-range attack, which is what this is. And I will play Maidon Maidon. This is one of my support cards effects. It allows me to recycle a number of cards from my hand to gain that much boost. So what I'm going to do is, as I resolve this, I'm going to recycle 2 cards. So discard 2 and draw 2. And that's going to make this into a +2. So now I have a strength 6 attack. So like yours did before, this one belongs to my companion here. So flip this card over. That immediately lets me recycle up to 2 cards. I actually kind of like the cards I've got, so I'm not going to do that.
Kind of like your power, isn't it? Just recycling.
Yes.
Green Tarrant.
Indeed, very green and environmental on this sandstorm-infested world. And in the easy mode of play, that's fine. It's not going to punish me for cycling through my deck lots of times. When you play the hard mode, you do add a penalty for cycling too much. So that's a strength 6 attack. 3 of that is blocked. So 3 out of the 12 lives are taken. I'm going to end my first character phase there, so we'll go to the scenario phase. So the sandstorm loses a timer. The enemy does not attack because still not within range. And then these all advance another space. So now in my second character phase, I want to reveal the new location that just came there into the mid-range. So this is a strength 5 mid-range exploration. And I'm going to do this using the other way of initiating an action, which is called the epic action. It's to do an explore, attack, or block initiating from my leader's card. So I flip this card over for a mid-range strength 1 explore. While this is flipped for the rest of the round, I actually lose 1 hand limit, but I gain this extra ability, which again relates to delusion tokens. Anyway, I have strength 1. I'll boost it to make it 3, 4, 5. This has the bonus effect. Again, it's +1 to explore at mid-range.
You still haven't used your delusion tokens. You sure you're not just delusional?
I'm not delusional. I do have a way. I will get to using that. All right, but I've got a strength 5 there. So that's going to let me reveal this location. There we go. We have a solar observatory. So a couple of new things here. This is immovable, which means that when everything advances, this one's going to stay there. And it shows some dice. You'll see these dice icons are these ones here. And by taking an explore action here to roll those dice, that's how we're going to hopefully get these quest markers, as well as a bonus effect where we can use this to look for sandstorms and make them go away more quickly. But I don't have enough strength of action to do that, so I will end my character phase there. I'm going to hang on to this card. My hand limit is 6, so I will draw up to 6. You can see here that I have run out of cards in my deck, so I shuffle my discard pile into a new deck. Again, in the easy mode, this is done without penalty. I re-ready these cards, and it goes to your turn.
I'm going to do the action that you've seen before, which is to attack. As Tarrant, I have this one mid-range attack, so I'm just going to flip this to do it. Ongoing effect, by the way, whenever you explore a revealed location, you can place or move a fortune token to that sector. While Tarrant has delusion token, I have fortune token. I'm not going to use that this time. I'm going to attack with that one. Now, this is +1 attack at mid-range, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all in, 9 minus 3 defense.
3 block is 6 damage. So
Yep.
now 9 damage out of the 12 we need.
Nice.
Now we do scenario phase. So the sandstorm loses its last token. That means it gets recovered. So this card goes onto the bottom of the raid deck, but it's out of play. The enemy is still not within range to attack. The observatory does nothing. So we advance. But now, remember, this is immovable.
Yes. Thank you.
So these cards will jump over it on their way towards us. You have no cards left with which you could take a second character phase.
Unfortunately, I have only 4 now that it's flipped for draw, 4 hand limit, I should say.
Yep, but you had a good hit at the enemy.
Flip it back and discard. All right, that's my turn.
For my first character phase, I now want to go and explore that solar observatory. So I need mid-range, strength 5. And I'll use this card. It can get me it up to long range. And it starts with strength 2 and it has a resolve effect. So resolve effects are after I've boosted everything. So I'm going to go 2 and then I'm going to use made on again. Cycle 3 cards.
Ooh.
And draw 3 new ones. And that will be +3. So that's going to give me the strength 5. Now my resolve here is I can place or move a delusion token to any sector. And so I take one of my delusion tokens, and for reasons that will soon become clear, I'm going to place it here. But more on why I do that later. All right, now I've got what I need to explore the solar observatory. I roll the dice shown in the top left corner. So that's 1 black, 1 orange, 1 yellow, and 1 green.
Of course, this is still prototype, the color as well.
All right, and what this gives me, I've got some resources. So this is going to give us 1 credit and 1 Bellicio, which will get added to our pool for the end of the act. Then I get 1 X, so that advances me 1 step on the quest track, and 1 skull to advance 1 step on the threat track. Then there's an effect on this observatory, which is after I've explored, which is what I've just did. I can remove a time counter from a revealed storm, but there are not any revealed storms at the moment. And so there we go. That
is how you explore.
Thank you. Next, the scenario phase. Enemy is not within range to attack. Nothing else is face up. So we go straight to advancing, and with the immovable location, and these all go like so. All right. And sorry, I did miss flipping my companion over as well. Again, I'm happy with what I'd reached cycle to because this is going to be good for attack. So now for my second character phase, I'm going to launch an attack using Delusio Minotauri. This is 2 strength, long range. When I play, I may discard up to 1 delusion token from the same sector to double the initial value. So we're going to discard this. It returns to my supply exhausted, so that if all of them were out, I wouldn't be able to place it again until next round, but makes this a strength 4. So I need 2 more boost to get the 3 that I need. So I'll just play this 1 card. That is +1 at mid-range.
Good work.
And so 6 minus 3 is 3. This monster is defeated and goes to the necropolis. So they do sit there in the necropolis. There are ways that some of them can come back, which is not that much fun. But you can see here we've got the threat effect on this would have been a plague enemy would have come back. So there's a few different ways that can happen. But essentially we've purged the board of the monster.
For now.
For now. All right, so what I've got left is an attack and an explore. I can't boost that enough to...
Actually, you can. Let's do it, Tarrant.
Oh yes, I can. I could reveal this card in 3. Now, one thing I'll just point out here is that, yes, it's expensive to reveal the things that are far away, but if you reveal them when they're close to you, obviously you've got a lot less time to resolve them. They're also going to reveal automatically if they come into close range, so they do become a lot more dangerous.
So it does save me if I need to do anything if you refill this, potentially. And then I don't have to refill it, I can attack or do whatever it is.
Yes. I'll play this card for 2 strength at mid-range, plus 1 boost. So that's 3. We'll reveal this one. What's it going to be? This could be any type.
Oh, enemy.
It is an enemy. It is a samurai enemy who can attack at range 2.
That's scary. You can block it. No, you can't. Oh, yes, you can.
Well, I'm not going to get attacked this round because I've already done
That's
the
right.
scenario phase, but you are. So it's a good thing we revealed this sooner because another 12 life, that would have been tough to deal with in 4 turns.
Yes.
All right. I discard. I now get to draw 7 cards because that is the sum of the characters I've got. And I ready my companion. I ready this delusion token. I show you the cards because we're playing cooperatively.
Thanks.
And it is your turn.
I wanted to attack this, but then, hey, I've got 17 life, you got 22. We can handle a little bit of, attack.
That's true. We need to start exploring. We need to get into this story.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to explore this like Tarrant did before with 2. So I flip this. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5. And I flip my companion. Again, I do scan 2. I'm out of cards, so...
You can only scan one of them. The only way that you can actually do the deck shuffle is
when there
in the discard and draw phase.
Okay.
So you only get to look at the one.
It's all right. So, ta-da! It's Wing the Eye plus 1 to explore. So, yep, I'm going to keep it because exploring is good for now as well.
Yep.
So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will explore. I'm exploring and then give me the dice as well. Okay, let's see what I get. Well, that is 3 X's and 2 credits. So the 3 X's is good.
2 credits.
Yep, and 3 X's is good because we now advancing.
1, 2, 3. All right, so now we get to look at one of these quest cards and see what that does for us. A signal from the east. Well, that sounds good towards our main objective. Without a doubt, the signal originates from inside one of the chambers. It's the perfect opportunity to put one of Rhapsoda's latest wild inventions to the test, a morpher tracker. After fluttering about for a few seconds, a tiny contraption settles on a suspicious tile. Randomly reveal a copy of Secret 3 and place it in the shared play area. So this is a secret deck. There are a few different Secret 3s.
Ooh.
Pick a Secret 3.
Okay, this one.
Okay, so there we go. This is a symbol. It has an activate effect.
Looks like a compass.
So it's an activate effect. You must exhaust this card and discard any card from your hand. But it doesn't really tell us why to do that. I think that's probably going to become clear later on, perhaps. So we'll just keep that in our supply. And place 1 quest counter on the main quest. So that's good. We're 1 step towards main quest victory. And each player gains 10 experience points.
Woohoo!
So these experience point tokens, these are also used for upgrading cards at the ends of the scenarios. All right, and then we remove this card. So that's good. Good exploration.
Yes. Okay, that is my action, the first one anyway.
Yep. So we reset the quest marker.
Now it is attacking me with 2.
Yes, we're on to the scenario phase now. So this is the first time we're getting attacked because this one does attack at mid-range.
So 2, but I'm blocking the attack with this card. So this is block. Discard it. Woohoo! Bye-bye.
Okay, no damage.
Now advance this. skipping the location again.
Yes.
And I draw 5. I'm going to keep this. So 1. And as with like deck building style, I'll draw from my discard pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All up. And that's it. Now flip this back.
Yes, both sides.
Thank you.
All right. Now you can see the cards I've got here. I have a lot of potential exploration here, which could be very handy, and a couple of attacks. So we do need to start doing some damage to this enemy before a threat occurs. But I want to explore. So first thing I'll do is epic exploration at mid-range. So 1, and then boost with 2, 3, 4, 5, because both of these give me a mid-range bonus. Explore that observatory again.
Good roll. But we get 1 skull, which is okay.
Yep, so 3 steps on this track and 1 skull. Very good. And still there are no face-up storms, so this doesn't resolve anything. Also, by the way, I'm not too worried. This is a location, and locations are generally good. So when this one becomes revealed...
Generally.
Yep, it's going to be at close range.
Easier to resolve.
It's going to be kind of helpful.
Yeah.
It will mean that monsters will advance through this part more quickly. So it's all a balance. These cost us more to do, but gives us more time to respond to monsters. So these are the sorts of decisions you need to make as you're playing. All right, I'm going to explore again. So 2, I may move or place a delusion token in any sector. So I'm going to put 1 here. Again, this is where the enemy is going to be. So that's 2. Plus 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. I flip this over. That gives me the chance to recycle 2. These are good for me at the moment. So I'm not going to recycle, just going to do that 5. Roll the dice again. As long as that observatory is there, I can visit it as often as I want.
Yeah.
All right. So a credit and 2 of the Bellusio. So we'll grab them to the supply. Now this is loot. So I've just found some loot. We have some loot cards here for
Nice.
Act 1. So I take one of these. And this is sand kibbers. So this is gear. It's gear that gives me +1 block for my character. So
Very good.
that's very good indeed. I will slot that. I'll pop that down here so we remember. And then we get this other quest, so I get to reveal another quest card. Following the weakest of the 3 signals has taken you to the foot of a large pit built of titanite. Your attempts to see what is inside are in vain because a great blanket of darkness prevents you from doing so. At its base, you see a very old inscription. While you're trying to decipher it, your devices start beeping loudly. It seems the signal you are after is in motion inside the pit. Reveal Secret 1 and place it on top of the location that has just been explored. Everyone gets 10 XP.
Nice.
And we remove the card.
Okay. Secret 1.
Great Sinkhole. So our solar observatory is no more. It has just dropped into a sinkhole. So this is part of, you can see if you were sitting at home wondering, oh, they're just going to keep exploring the same place over and over. It was immovable. No, it wasn't immovable. It fell into a immovable sinkhole.
So sad.
And this also shows us the one other action which you can do. It's another subtype of the explore action, and it's called interact. So if we interact with this, which is to do a strength 5 mid-range exploration action, that will get us to reveal the next chapter of the scenario. All right, now the last thing I can do, I could try to attack the samurai. If I did that, it's an attack at mid-range. It'd be strength 4. I could do 2 damage, or I could hang on to it till next round and try to do more at once. But I'm getting a little worried about how quickly this enemy's going to advance. So I'm going to do that attack. I'll play those cards. That's going to do 2 damage.
Yep.
Now, scenario phase, we go card by card. This time, I will get attacked, so mid-range, damage 2. And if we look down at my cards, I have no cards. I do have this gear, which does +1 block, but I don't have a card to initiate the block with. So right now, I'm defenseless.
But I can't support you. This is a cooperative game, and this is what we want to show. We haven't shown you this before.
Yes, so there are certain cards there are certain things you can do cooperatively. We could share gear between each other, we can block for each other, and we can use our companions, like our companions cards, to support each other. So in this case, I need a block action, so you can support me with one of those.
I'm just going to simply discard this to block attack to Tarrant 2, and so you have no damage, Tarrant.
I have no damage. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Anything for you, almost.
Yes. You do have fewer cards in your hand for the rest of this round because you only discard and draw at the end of your turn. So that is something you need to watch out for as you're doing these cooperative sets.
That's okay. I'm sure you'll help me, doing the dishes later.
Or even sharing gear. You know what? I think these sand Kibras look better on you, so I'll share that gear with you.
Okay.
As a word of thanks.
Thank you.
And then we would finish with the advancements and so on. And we will finish our 1-round playthrough right there. And so you can see the way that this game plays out. We're going to be managing the enemies that are coming through, managing the explorations, trying to find locations so that we can keep those quests advancing, and then ultimately trying to work our way through the chapter, secret, and quest cards to get to an outcome. And it is an outcome. There'll be times during the act where you can make choices and end up with different conclusions. And it will still advance the story to the next act, but it will give you different benefits and different things that you can build your decks with afterwards. One thing we didn't see was the threat deck. So if we're rolling these skulls while we explore, once we get to the end here, we're going to start drawing these threats and negative things will happen. This will also occur as we fail to defeat monsters and they fall off the end of the track. And given the amount of enemies I can see coming, I imagine that might be in our future. That, of course, is all going to escalate as the game goes on because everything is just getting slightly closer each time, I've noticed. You keep going until you reach an ending or until both players have run out of lives. So that is the main lose condition, is if both characters run out of lives. There's a number of expansions and add-ons which will come with the game, extra contracts, weaknesses, things that will give you a more rich story and more rich variety among these scenarios.
So that's it. Check out Long Dark Sea. I'll link the project page in the video description. And thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you have any comments, questions in the comment sections below, of course. And hopefully you have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.